Your boy is big enough to get early access to mods. Woo! Truly, the channel is going up in the world. If we keep this up, maybe we'll get early access to full games in about a decade. Small steps though. Just as I finished my Alan Wake video, perhaps misguided decision looking at the numbers, one of my Discord members, PR Blaster, sent me a download link for an Archie Sonic mod they and a small team are working on. I downloaded it, and while it is a work in progress, hence the lack of a download link in the description, I can see some interesting ideas here. Firstly, and I will repeat myself here, this is a work in progress, so keep that in mind when it comes to sprites and effects. Secondly, Archie Sonic seems like a strange character to choose. Sure, his speed is legendary, but no matter what happens, you'll be unable to utilize that to its full power because you're making a character that needs to be playable in a level you didn't design, with ample time to react to oncoming walls and obstacles. I think the workaround is inspired, if still improvable, but I'll get to that in a moment. Before that, we need to discuss Archie's other abilities. Double jump is a homing attack. Not exactly revolutionary, but it works. Jumping is a bit odd in that you don't curl into a ball until you start descending, which means you are vulnerable until reaching that point, but it doesn't really affect the gameplay much to really make it worthwhile changing in the first place. Spin is a direct spin dash, not used much for speed, but for control. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's old Sonic spin drift. Or your momentum is instantly stopped, allowing you to essentially turn corners at straight angles. When travelling at the uber high speeds this character can reach, this becomes a near necessity to move uninterrupted, so it's not great that I'm kinda awful at using it. There isn't much I can think of to improve it, but it does take getting used to, especially with the fact the camera sometimes takes a second to realise you want to change direction. And just very quickly before we get to the main ability of the mod, pressing custom 2 while Supersonic grants you the ability to fly. Jump to ascend, spin to descend. You've seen this ability before. It's not really a reference to anything unique to the Archie comics, but I see no reason it shouldn't be here. Also, Archie's homing attack becomes more powerful, which I'm pretty sure just translates to it having a higher range. So how did PR Blast and his team translate Archie Sonic's mythically obscene speed? Well, by pressing custom 1, your speed increases from the standard SRB2 top speed of 36 to 75. That's right, it more than doubles. Very fast. If you want to go into specifics though, after effects and fire start trailing behind you once you reach the speed of 68, and once you surpass the speed of 70, you gain a boost effect and can start damaging enemies. But let me just go back to that top speed of 75 thing a second. I can't find an exact number of how fast Metal Sonic can go while in dash mode, but even if it is about the same, the ease with which Archie can reach it is so much better that it does feel a lot more powerful. Of course, like dash mode, SRB2's levels aren't particularly designed for these speeds, and I do feel that having to hold custom 1 to keep up boost mode isn't great, when you also need to be able to jump and spin at the same time, especially if, like me, they're mapped to your triggers while custom 1 is your XA equivalent. And yes, that limitation does seem even stranger when you realise that flying a supersonic doesn't require you to hold custom 2. But in the end, that is why I'm making this video. This mod is in development, they are working on this, improvements are there to be offered, and none of the flaws mentioned seem particularly outlandishly difficult to fix. So I'm confident that when this mod is released to the public, you can expect some of these complaints to become redundant. I won't be reviewing this mod yet, as I'll be waiting for it to release publicly first. It feels kind of iffy for me to review a mod that is incomplete in case things do end up changing in development. After all, you'd never review a game that is blatantly unfinished, would you? Haha, that'd be ridiculous. This is the Jackman. I'm going up in the world now, and so.